Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the virtual chapter for May 2025. The time is just gone by. We have been anticipating the Hypnoexpo, which is coming up this coming week, and we're going to talk a little bit about that this evening and a few other things in world news. And then, of course, we have a special guest that's going to share with us as well, and we are looking forward to that, of course. So welcome everybody. Karen, do you have, aside from the conference, do you have any announcements that you would like to make?
The announcements that I'd like to make is a new certification class is underway, and I am so thrilled. I just got to tell you about this new certification class. These students are the most engaged students I've ever had. I have never before had students who bring their own stuff. We have a chat message board, and they're posting stuff that they're finding online and posting other trainings that they're looking into. It is so amazing. And the most fun for me is it keeps me on my toes. Because while I have a plan, right, sometimes they'll go way off and bring out their own stuff. Well, I got to keep up with that. And we got to have everybody on the same page. So I have two of my students in the group tonight. Do you guys mind if I introduce you real quick? Russell and Jacob Pett, just wave real quick. And they're really engaged. I love this group. I'm so thrilled to have them with me. There's
Now,
an announcement.
now I'll tell you what, that's really nice to have engaged students because, just planning a wedding all by itself is enough. Don't you think? To really
And,
induce a deep trance.
I just certified two others. We have two brand new IACT members who are in line with us already. So those are my announcements, Michael.
Lovely.
But
Okay. Well, the big calendar announcement, of course, is the Wonder of You, the Hypnoexpo 2025, May 16th to the 18th. And actually, it's May 16th to the 20th. Well, actually, it's May 14th, isn't it? To the 20th, because there are pre and post conference programs before and after the weekend. So it's going to be a great time. I've got to tell you, for those of you who are not enjoying the Florida sunshine, we've had some lovely weather until about the last week, and then it has done nothing but rain and rain and rain and rain. And well, no, you know what? This is lovely because the rain is now going to stop and everything is green and it has that nice ozone thing going on. It's just really the perfect time to be here. So we're looking forward to it. I know I'm going to see Karen on Thursday.
yes, yeah.
And I can hardly wait for that. So that'll be lovely. And we've got some stuff to talk about. I think you gave me a couple ideas about what we might cover in this opening segment, and one of them was the conference. So just kind of, we might start there.
Okay.
And Karen, why don't you let people know what it is you're going to be doing at the Hypno Expo?
I will be doing a couple of things. The expo is called The Wonder of You, and I teach a small segment, and I have a hypnosis process called The Wonder of You. And so I thought, well, what better thing to present than right here at this conference? So I will be doing a seminar on my Wonder of You process. It's not mine. I mean, they're all the same. I've got a script that I did a long, long, long time ago. And I don't use scripts, but I recorded something and then I put it in script form so that I could help do some teaching on some of it. And it really works with, it harkens back to my very first trainer, Dr. Patrick Porter, and it's done really in his style, which is quite different from many other styles. And that's one of the things we'll be talking about in the seminar, is that when you're doing hypnosis scripts or doing hypnosis processes or working with someone on hypnosis, there are a gazillion, I've counted them, a gazillion ways to do it. You can do direct suggestion, you can do induction, deepening, kind of the suggestion part and emerging. You can weave it all in. You can do guided visualization. There are tons of ways to do it. So I chose Patrick's style for this because he has an interesting style. He doesn't induce and then deepen and then suggest. He weaves it all the way throughout. He really is an NLP expert and he weaves hypnosis and NLP together. That's how I was originally trained. It's the way I thought it was supposed to be until I found out different. And I still love it this way. So the script that we'll be using, and it'll be experiential, so everyone gets to experience the wonder of you. And then I'll unpack it and talk about how this is all put together and how the deepening is woven into it, metaphor is woven into it. There are a couple of wonderful NLP style processes in here, using submodalities and putting things behind you, and the early learning set. So looking back and borrowing benefits from you as a child, things that you excelled at as a child. One of the things in this script is eating with a fork or walking and inventing balance, because you have to invent balance when you learn to walk. Nobody can teach that to you. You pull up and then you have to get balance. Oh my God, if you can invent balance, that's an amazing skill, is it not? If you can do that, you can do almost anything. Look at how wonderful you are. So if you can move from a bottle to a spoon, if you can move from diapers to anything else, you can use all sorts of learning, or I don't use the diaper thing in this, but you can use all sorts of early learning sets to help someone understand on a very core level their value to life, to themselves. That's what we'll be talking about in that seminar. The other one I'll be teaching is a workshop on the magic answers. And I'll give you a hint. You guys already know how I feel about this. There are no magic answers. The only magic answer comes from your client. You don't have them. And it's incumbent upon you to discover that wonderful part inside your client. So I'll be talking about outcome specification and how you use outcome specification questions to get the information to your clients so that you know their limits, you know their benefits, you know the script that you're going to use with them right there, because when you ask the right questions, they will give you all of those answers. That's what that second seminar is going to be about. Asking the right questions so that you get all the right answers and know exactly how to go with your client. No script needed.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about, Michael. How about you?
Well, that is going to be really exciting, by the way. And I'll tell you one of the things that I really like about what you just said. Um, there's a phrase that some of us use, some of us avoid like the plague, and some of us have never heard before. But you've all heard people talk about client-centered hypnosis, right? That's kind of an interesting thing. I tend to use the word client-driven hypnosis a whole lot more because to whatever degree I can let the bulk of the work be provided by and through the client rather than me trying to get them somewhere in particular, the happier I am with that. So kudos, Karen, and the scriptless and stuff is wonderful. I'm going to do a 1 hour lecture on reframing from inside out, which is kind of an interesting thing. And we're going to talk about how reframing was developed and how it relates to neurolinguistic programming and other approaches to reframing besides the usual protocols that people have learned. And I think we're going to do some cool family constellation style demonstrations where we'll get people up in the front of the room to portray all the various parts in the process, and it should be good. If we've got any participants named Sybil, we're going to have a lot of folks show up to my seminar in order to be able to do that one. But I think it's going to be great fun. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also doing a workshop, a longer workshop, 2 hours, 2.5, whatever they are, longer workshop
5, I think. Yep.
called the Games Hypnotists Play. And they really are a collection of some of the coolest things that I've experienced when I was training in hypnosis in the beginning and through the years, different things that I've seen trainers do that were fun and engaging activities that also really highlighted and brought out some of the things that we use in our work as hypnotists and help people develop some of those cool skills. And we will include in this two things that I really like. One of them is we're going to spend some time doing mutual trance work. So this idea about going into trance with somebody else and sharing that experience is truly a remarkable thing. And something that I'm going to share as it was taught to me by Stephen Gilligan, Milton Erickson's protege. And the other one also that comes from Stephen Gilligan. There's a whole lot of other things in here as well, little quick and short games. But is the famous Boom Boom Room that a few of you have heard about. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's an immersive experience where the person who is the client sits in the center of four other people, and each of those other people have different roles to play. And each of those roles sort of mirror one aspect of what a hypnotist does in their work. So that finally, you do one and the other and the other and the other, and you will have sort of toured through all of the different, what do I want to say, facets of doing hypnotic work by focusing on them one at a time. And well, it's just really delightful. And so I can hardly wait for that. And then, of course, on what is it, the 19th and the 20th, the 2 days at the end of the conference, I'm doing the stress management consultant certification course, and that's a regular feature now at the conference starting last year. So it's the last 2 days, and that also happens, by the way, 6 months from now. So if any of you aren't going to the conference, it'll be available online as well in another 6 months. But it's about well, about managing stress and about learning how to work with other people, how to do presentations for to work individually with people for stress-related issues, but also to be able to take work out into corporate groups and organizations and communities to do longer extended workshops. And you get complete formats for all the stuff that you need to do that. So that's going to be exciting as well. I just realized looking at this is that aside from the stress program, my two workshops are both on Sunday, which means that Saturday I really have a day to play and enjoy and hang out with as many other, folks in workshops as I possibly can. So that's going to be cool. Some of
Yeah.
you who know me know that on Friday I don't do anything but go to meetings. That, that's that's what happens at the conference. But we have meetings, and by the way, some of you might be interested in these if you're going to be there. We have a meeting that's the chapter for people that run chapters. We have a meeting for people that run schools for IMDHA, and another meeting for people that run schools for IACT. And then we have a committee meeting, if you will, as well. And that's just a lovely activity. So I can hardly wait, and I'm especially can hardly wait to see my buddy Karen. So
I can hardly wait. And you just brought a piece of nostalgia back to me, Michael. You probably wouldn't remember this. There's no reason why you would. But when I first met you in Las Vegas, I attended, that was the first thing I ever attended that you taught, and the Boom Boom Room was included in that. So now we have gone full circle. We are right back to that.
great. I'll tell you what. So just because you're all wondering what the Boom Boom Room is, I promise you there are no stripper poles or anything like that involved. But what there is involved because of the name, the Boom Boom Room, I have to tell you, they're in these four positions. One of the positions is the person that sort of establishes the rhythm for the trance that's developing. And coming from a African drumming perspective, this is the grandfather drum, and the person in the position of the grandfather drum, the only thing that they say in the process is boom, 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 to establish the rhythm of the trance that's going to be coming out of it. So it's way cool and lots of fun. So
You know,
I'm excited about that.
it's all going to be a blast. And I had asked Michael to touch on one. Did we cover all of those
So yeah,
announcements?
yeah.
I asked Michael to touch on something else tonight. Um, you've heard me say many times that I think hypnosis exists every place, that almost everything involves hypnosis. And of course, the world is talking about the new pope. And some of you may know, so if you don't know, Michael was a priest in an earlier life, an Episcopal. Oh, he always jumps on me because I get this wrong. Episcopalian priest, Episcopal priest.
You're doing
Correct me. What is it? Okay. and and so he has all of this liturgy and all of this stuff in his background, all of this ritual. You guys all know that Michael is poetry, I'm the limerick, he's ritual, I'm hit it and get it. I understand the value of ritual. I don't often do a lot of ritual, but boy, did I see hypnosis in action watching all of the ritual at the Vatican. I
Yeah.
was watching all of the principals dressed in their red outfits. Boy, were they set apart. That was some important communication, was it not? These are the important ones. Everyone sits back and waits, focuses on the chimney. That's the focal point, waiting to hear what's going to happen. Black smoke, white smoke. It's all, you have to be into the whole rhythm of what's going on. It can take forever or it can take a short amount of time. You don't know exactly what might be happening. But what else is going on there, Michael? From the inside, if you can even talk about that, what must it be like to be a cardinal with that weight on your shoulders?
Well, gosh, it's funny because I'm tempted to make a joke about the smoke and wondering what was in that because they got to it in a hurry.
They
They
did.
got to it in a day and a half, which is quite impressive. And one of the things that people have asked me a lot of questions about this, just because they know that I know the deal. And the Papal Conclave, something that drives me crazy. First of all, I will point out, especially Karen, for you particularly, is you will notice in terms of the number of popes involved, Chicago 1, Green Bay 0.
Yes, we
Okay.
know. And we're playing them on Sunday. So this is going to be the test, the true test to see if God is on our side now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
What
they-
a thing! What a surprise it was to have an American Pope. And to be fair, we want to give their due to the folks of Peru who really got more time out of him than the city of Chicago actually did. But but yeah. So the other thing that drove me crazy was ABC News. Every time I saw David Muir on the news, he was saying about the secret conclave. First of all, from the Department of Redundancy Department, I will point out that a conclave is by nature something that is closed off. It means with a key, right? The place is locked. It's like, and other people can't get in or out. So there's nothing secret about what goes on in that room.
Sure, there is. Who makes the food?
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you about that. So, so it's curious because curious is another good word, by the way, because we have the curia to deal with. But the Cardinals actually stay as of the last election was the first time that it was this way. They actually stay in St. Margaret's house, St. Martha's house. I'm sorry, in the Vatican, which was only built a little while ago. It was built during John Paul the Second's time there as a result of an order that he did. And the Cardinals now stay there. They used to stay literally on cots in cells surrounding the Sistine Chapel. If you can imagine so in this century that wouldn't work anymore. But just so that you can know, St. Martha's House is probably a three-star hotel at best. And that's where they were. But yeah, so they get fed there, everything else, and they are certainly protected and guarded, and so that nobody can talk to them. Some of you probably saw the movie, right? Did you? It's what a weird coincidence that we have this film. I don't want to comment too much on the film other than to say I think that some of it was kind of interesting. And I sort of was very disappointed with the ending because it looked like they were just trying to have one more thing, one more big thing to do at the last possible minute. And it just seemed a little contrived to me. But there were some good looks about it. Anybody and I've been to the Vatican, I've been in the Sistine Chapel. I kind of can appreciate, where they were and what was going on. Um, Ritual wise, yeah, chanting. I haven't had that much church in my life for a long time. So many, events leading up to the conclave itself and immediately after the conclave. And of course, Sunday. is the installation of the new pope. So if you want to see some more good ceremonial TV. One of the things that I think is the reason we're having this conversation in the first place as it relates to hypnosis, and something I know that I have said probably in this group and in a number of groups before. What I remember from my own experience with the priesthood and from my own experience growing up in the church, I was one of those six-year-old boy choristers as a kid. I mean, I literally grew up in the choir and in a high church parish. Um, at the beginning of Mass, the first thing that happens is everybody sings. Everybody sings. And fortunately, if they sing a song that everybody knows, that's good. Or if they sing one that's in Latin, that's pretty good too. Because people are, it's a mantra. It's a great mantra. Um,
An
but
induction, if you will.
but if everybody's singing, consider what it means to have a room full of people that are all breathing together. Right? You can't sing together without breathing in the same places. So we've got the beginning of an induction. We've got the breathing exercise that starts, settle down comfortably in your chair, take a nice deep breath, or well, standing probably for the opening hymn. But you do all that, you're getting ready, you're getting prepped for something. And the priest stands in the front of the room and he says, "The Lord be with you." The response is also with you. So this lovely little family greeting. And the next thing is, what's the next thing? Let us pray. And at the end of those three words, you will hear, in no matter how big the room is, a deafening stillness. This is a rapid induction. This is, it's an incredible rapid induction that is immediately followed by a prayer that expresses the intention of today's liturgy. Every Sunday has its own theme, right? Here's what it's about. Here's our intention when we're doing our work with clients, right? We're going to say, this is what we're here for. And then we're going to teach them some stuff. So there's a few lessons, and then we're going to do the ritual in which the transformation takes place. Uh, it's amazing. And on a scale as grand as what Vatican has to offer us, it's truly remarkable. The other thing, by the way, that I kept looking for was I wanted to see, it's the second, I was looking to see if in the second window from the right in the Apostolic Palace, there was a for rent sign because, there's a vacant apartment up there that hasn't been used for the last several years. But it's okay. Leo is going to move back into the old place and, everything will be good. So
Let me
it's,
back up for just a moment from that, Michael, and say, yes, all of the ritual in the church is the induction and the the breathing together and all of that. But just like in all hypnosis, the hypnosis really starts before you ever get to the church.
yes,
The
yes,
hypnosis starts when you're at home on Sunday morning and you decide it's time to go to church.
sure.
The moment you decide is when the hypnosis begins because you decide and you start moving in that direction. Your intention is laid in stone. You put on certain clothing, you drive to a certain place, you park, you get out, you walk in. All of that is what happens before our clients ever sit down in our office or across from us on Zoom. They have decided, their intention is set. They have made an appointment, they've driven or they've gotten appropriately appointed, and they're ready for something to happen.
In fact, what they're ready to happen is the experience of transformation. Something is going to be different as a result of this event. No matter what it is, whether it's just Sunday at your local parish. But the idea is we're going there in order to learn something or to grow or to be touched by spiritual presences or whatever it means to you, that we're anticipating some kind of change to take place, you know.
And it doesn't have to be that spiritual, it can also be Sunday at the ballpark.
Well, that's pretty spiritual, especially if it's the time.
It can be pretty spiritual, but you've decided for some sort of transformation to take place. All of that is it's a way that we all, I think, have to be aware how hypnosis is happening all the time. And it's not often dependent on us, the hypnotist.
Yeah.
We are the facilitator, but a lot of stuff has happened. The trance has begun. If they're coming to us for a change, they've already changed themselves into what they thought the best solution was. And now they want to change that. And they believe their BS says, I can't do it on my own. So they find someone who can help facilitate that change. That's how we get involved.
And we add a little bit of incense to it because every yoga teacher knows that that helps, and and that at the end of it all, then you can splash a little water on everybody to wake them up, and then they can go home and change their lives.
Pretty miraculous, pretty miraculous. And we are not the miracle workers. They are.
That's right.
We are the inquisitors.
Well, so that brings us up to the top of the hour.
Yes, it does.
Speaking of miraculous,
And I am so excited about this because Astrid Spencer has joined us a couple of times on our holiday buffet. But I have wanted so much for us to put together a time where she could come and talk to us about the overlap of chakras and hypnosis. Let me tell you a little bit about Astrid. I'm not I really was never terribly into chakras or even knew what they were. I saw Astrid at a conference, and I absolutely not only fell in love with her, but with the whole concept and how it can all overlap. And that's why I really want to share all of this with you. Let me tell you a little bit about. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone speaking. Hold on a second. Astrid is a certified hypnotherapist with over a decade of experience helping clients create deep, lasting change. She specializes in breaking through physical, mental, and emotional barriers using compassionate, customized hypnosis. Boy, right after my heart. Working out of both New York City and the Hudson Valley, Astrid works with clients locally and online, and her mission is to help others release what no longer serves them and step fully into their potential. So the first thing I got to ask you, Astrid, is well, the first thing I want to ask you when we get into this is how does chakras and hypnosis overlap? But before we get to that, what brought you to hypnosis in the first place? How did you make this journey?
So, I was not really all that familiar with hypnosis, and I was working with a woman who said that she was going to get hypnosis and would I want to go with her. And so I was like, sure, why not? I'm always up for new experiences. So I went into the hypnotist, and my coworker friend went first, and then she was like, well, is there something you want to work on? And I was like, I don't know. And so she's like, well, then why don't we do like a past life regression and see what you think of that? And I was like, sure, let's do it. So I went into the hypnosis, and I realized that I was playing out something that had already happened in another life. And I was like, okay, well, I'm done with that. I don't need to do that again. So I came out of the hypnosis, and it kind of changed everything immediately, like we all know it can. And I was like, okay, I said, do you train people? She said, absolutely. I'm doing a training starting next month. I said, sign me up, because if I can do this for other people and have them feel exactly how I feel right now, that's it. And so that's it.
Did she teach you about chakras there, or did those two things come into your life separately?
So she did a little bit on the chakras, but it also just kind of came into my life as I would see things about colors, and it just kind of resonated with me because I was seeing all of the parallels between colors in movies and colors in idioms that we've heard our whole life, and it all just seemed to make perfect sense to me. So,
So tell me about the overlap.
okay, so there is a lot of overlap because first thing is when you go in and you have your chakras aligned, so to say, I mean, they are just energetic centers that hold different types of energy depending on where they are, and I'll go more into that in a little bit. But if a client is coming to you and they already feel aligned and balanced, they're going to be that much more open to whatever change they're actually trying to achieve. And then, also anything that they want to work on is going to happen that much easier. And also, all of the chakras are much easier to work on when you're in that hypnotic state, because just like anything, you don't have all of the objections and the conscious mind saying, hey, wait, maybe I can't do this, maybe I can't do that. So they really are mutually beneficial to each other.
So teach me a little bit about chakras, will you? Because colors and places in the body, and I just about was ready to do the sign of the cross. Now we're getting back to our Pope talk. But tell me about that, would you?
Absolutely. So I have this little diagram next to me so I can point them out. So the first one is the root chakra, and that's usually symbolized by the color red, which is also the color black. So it is safety and security. It's knowing that you're going to have enough food, shelter, money to afford what you need to afford in your life. And when you don't have these things, it can certainly throw this off, and you'll feel like pains in your lower extremities, because if you can't support yourself, your legs are going to be the first thing that affects you, because your legs support your whole body. Also, feeling extreme phobias, feeling like you can't really cope in day-to-day life. So when these things are happening, since this is the base chakra, if this one is thrown off, nothing above it can really balance or be in alignment. So this is the best place to start. And it's interesting how you were saying the Pope, how they're all wearing red, because they are all there for the security of the church, for the safety of the church, for the whole thing with the Pope. And it's interesting because everywhere you look are these colors. And so then we move up to the sacral chakra, and that one is the color orange symbolized, and that deals with both creativity and sexual balance and sexual energy, because all creativity starts with sexual energy for us. So if that is out of balance, you are going to notice that there will be problems with your sexual partners. Maybe you won't have any desire to have any sexual activity, sexual dysfunction. Also, not being able to find creative solutions, and to feeling very stuck, because if your creativity isn't activated or it's thrown off, then you are not going to be able to find the solutions to move forward in life. So once you have that all set, then we're going to move up to the solar plexus, which is typically the color yellow. And the solar plexus is all about your personal power and also your second brain. I'm sure many of you have had an experience where something very bad happens and you feel like you had a punch right in your stomach, because that is your second brain and also your more physical brain. And while the brain in your head is more logical, the brain in your gut is not. It's all emotional. So if anything goes wrong there, you are going to feel it right in your solar plexus. And also, then that does threaten your personal power, which goes hand in hand. So things that you might notice if you're having stuck energy there would be low self-esteem, because you don't feel like you have any kind of power on your own to change your life or anything like that. Helplessness, victim mentalities, perfectionism, because really all perfectionism is low self-esteem manifested. And then also digestive issues and lung problems. So that is basically that. And then we're going to move up to the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is symbolized by two colors. This one is green and pink. So the heart chakra is all about self-love and love of others, self-acceptance, acceptance of others, and going through life in a non-judgmental way. So problems in this area are heart issues. It is the heart chakra. Shoulder and upper back issues, breast problems, also breast cancer, carpal tunnel, and then also the inability to give and receive love freely and openly. Defensiveness, because that is basically blocking out all love. And then also letting people into your life that are bad for your heart. So if you keep getting into bad relationships or letting the wrong people in, it's definitely energy that you need to change in your heart. So then above that is the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is represented by the color blue. And it's all about speaking your own truth, but also about being a good listener. Because you can't have true communication without both speaking and hearing people. So problems with the throat, ears, eustachian tubes, and also not feeling understood, not feeling heard, feeling judged, feeling suppressed are all things that really are related to not listening and hearing. So, and speaking, being able to speak your truth. So those are some of the indications that there might be some stuck energy there. And then the final one is the crown chakra, which is up on top of your head. And, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Oh my gosh. The third eye is the next one. And that is right between your eyes here. And that is represented by the colors indigo and clear. Clear is not really a color, but if you have clear crystals or anything clear like that, that is for the third eye. So the focus of the third eye is opening up your intuition, your psychic abilities, but also not just your psychic abilities, but being able to see on this earthly plane and being able to discern reality from fantasy. So eye strain, eye disorders, dementia are all controlled in that third eye area. Being able to not being able to see the reality of situations, confusing fantasy and reality, hallucinations that are not really related to any other ailments are all third eye controlled as far as chakras. And then finally, we'll go back where we were, the crown chakra on the top of the head, and that is represented by the color purple. And that is universal energy, connection, and also enlightenment. So since it is the last one, if the rest of your chakras are all balanced and you've worked out everything going on in all of the other parts of your body, and you have everything in line, it's pretty close to being enlightened. So that is definitely one of the strongest parts of that. The things that can go wrong in your body if you have energy stuck in your crown chakra would be headaches, migraines, scalp disorders, and also feeling very disconnected from everything around you, and not being able to be present for others, or having people in your life that are not really able to be present for you. So that's all very energy related, and that's just a brief kind of overview of what each chakra both controls as far as the body parts, and also how you can tell that maybe something needs an alignment, especially if a client comes in and they are coming in with one of these problems anyway, and then they also have some of the other symptoms. You might be able to identify that they might have a little energy stuck somewhere.
Is this the kind of thing that you can see, that you can know, or is this the kind of thing that you discover from your client?
So I discover, basically, like when they walk in the door, I don't say, oh, they have a blocked heart chakra. Although, I mean, to be honest, if somebody is closed off, you can definitely see that. Or if they're very hurt, but I'm not going to assume anything. I definitely discuss, like I might have my ideas, but my ideas can go to the side, and I actually listen to them, because they know themselves a whole lot better than I do.
Thank you. But the reason I ask that is because some people do talk about they get these energy readings or they get these impressions. And I just don't know that I have that mystical ability. So I'm wondering, for those of us who are not that mystically able, how do we work with that? How do we normal humans work with that?
Right. So it's basically just listening like you would in any other session. So say they came in for a broken heart, and they want to be able to release the pain around it, or the sadness, and move forward. And they're telling you that they have really bad shoulder and back issues since this happened, and maybe their wrists are starting to hurt out of nowhere, or they're having arm issues. And you can say, oh, okay, well, that actually all kind of aligns itself with exactly what we would expect from stuck energy there. Now, I also do use a pendulum sometimes if they're interested in seeing it, because I feel like it's a really great visual tool for a client to come in. So every time they come in, I ask the pendulum, what is a blocked chakra for this person? What is an open chakra for this person? And if for me, it always seems to be the two same things. Like, it circles if it's open, it goes back and forth if it's no. But I still ask for each individual person, because you never know if somebody might just have a completely different energy that will direct it differently.
And you ask this in collaboration with your client, or you ask this ahead of time, or?
No, I don't do anything ahead of time. I do it with the client. I ask if they want it. Like, I'm not trying to do any kind of investigation on them outside of our session. But I mean, I appreciate that question for sure. But yeah, no, and it's really good, because then the client sees, okay, what is yes and no? And then we go over each chakra. We start at the root chakra, and then we go up to the sacral chakra.
I'm sorry. I've got to ask for clarity. I don't mean to keep interrupting, Astrid, but I just want to ask for clarity. When you say you're going over it, do they lay back and you do it on their body?
So either they can lay back if that's how they feel comfortable, or if they don't want to lie back and they want to sit up, then I will say out loud, and I also do this online, and it works just the same, is like, if say you were the client, I would be like, is Karen's root chakra blocked? Is Karen's sacral chakra blocked? And then as soon as we get to the first chakra that is blocked, we stop, because we know everything above it is going to be out of alignment, because it is almost like a pyramid, and you do have to build up on top of each other, or it's all going to topple. So once you reach one on the bottom, like, you don't have to keep going up through the rest of them. But then after the session, and after they do the whole hypnosis, we go back and we do it again, and then they're always all open.
And what if you've got somebody like me who is just a mess? I mean, I've got some carpal tunnel issues, I've got some heart issues, I can have some digestion problems and sleep. They're just a mess. Would all of my chakras be out of whack? And
I
how
mean,
would
not
you know?
necessarily. That it's really only if these things are caused by a blocked energy. Like, not every malady is because your chakras are out of alignment. But aligning the chakras can get rid of maladies that are temporary and due to situational things.
I want to take you out of your rhythm, but can we do a demo?
We absolutely can do a demo. And I just want to say one more thing before we do about the pendulum, because you were saying,
Don't let me run this. This is
about
your
the
show, but
no, it's your show. It's the two of you. But again, a pendulum does sound like something mystical, but it really is just energy. Like, everything around us is just energy, and it's being pushed by energy. So is it tapping into something? Yes. Does there have to be a name for it? No.
who holds the pendulum? Do you or does the client hold the pendulum?
I hold the pendulum, but I promise I hold it, and they can see it. They watch that my hands do not move while I'm doing it. I don't like swirl it around, obviously, or go back and forth, obviously. Like, and you do have people who come in that are skeptical, and they want to watch me. They watch my hand more than they watch the movement of the thing. So yeah, okay,
You,
but we can definitely do a demo. But
but
before we do, do you have any
I'm going to slow you. I'm going to slow you down too, just for a second, because I really appreciate. And I want you to know this. I really appreciate the pendulum, and the reason that I appreciate it is that the kind of errors that I think are possible for us to make come around some kind of an assumption. For example, you mentioned a client who might come to you because they're heartbroken. If somebody comes in with a broken heart, one of the things that occurs to me is there are going to probably be issues in their root chakra. There are going to be issues in their sexuality. There are going to be issues in their heart, and there are probably going to be issues in their throat. And in their, and all over the place. So rather than going, oh, it's a broken heart, now I know what we need to do. I really appreciate having uh, some device that doesn't just jump to that kind of a conclusion.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, if they tell me that they think their heart chakra is blocked, that's also fine. I do still go through the whole process though, because it's they're always amazed at the end when it's open again and they do feel better. So I think it's like it's not only them feeling better, but they also get to visually see that their feelings match what the pendulum is doing, which is great for them.
Nice.
But yeah, okay. So we can absolutely do a demo. And this is basically something that I would do with having a client come in for a chakra healing only. Like, sometimes I will use this as a very long induction to something else. And sometimes people come in just for like a little tune-up, because they're like, oh, there's nothing particular I really want to work on, but I want to feel the way I feel after I have my chakras aligned. So that's what we'll go through together. And I would love if everybody would participate, but you can also feel free to watch if you would just like. Okay. So I would like everyone to close your eyes and get comfortable. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths And each time you inhale, you're going to inhale calm, peaceful, loving energy. And each time you exhale, you're going to expel any stress, negativity, or discomfort. So breathe in, taking in calm and peace. Breathe out, expelling stress. Again, breathe in, loving energy, and out, releasing discomfort. And on the third breath, we're going to hold it for 7 seconds. Breathe in, calm, loving air circulating throughout your system, relaxing and peaceful. And exhale out anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Now continue to breathe at your own pace, still inhaling peacefulness and exhaling any stressfulness, sending it out of your body to be neutralized by the oxygen around you. And as you continue to breathe at your own pace, finding your own rhythm, picture a warm light starting at the top of your head and going down throughout your entire body like a swirling vortex, cleansing each cell as it goes, removing any pain, worry, discomfort, unblocking any stuck energy or ideas, unhooking any outdated belief systems, releasing any perceived limitations you've placed upon yourself, and shift all of your focus to this light, going down through your entire body, down through your toes, and when the light gets to your feet, it hops back up to your head and starts descending again, swirling down, cleansing everything that is holding you back. And with each pass of the light, you feel better and better, down to the feet, back up through the top of your head, swirling down, lighter and lighter, until you are just floating along, carefree. Imagine you find yourself on a pathway, floating along blissfully, and there is a staircase carved into the path, and you are going to float down the stairs, 10 steps down, and with each step you go down, you will go deeper into your subconscious, deeper into your own mind and inner workings, feeling more relaxed, more ready to balance your energy, more ready to make the adjustments you so desire. 10, getting more relaxed. 9, 8, 7, floating down the staircase, feeling wonderful. 6, 5, 4, letting go completely. 3, 2, 1, feeling at ease and ready to transform. The path continues ahead of you. You float along feeling wonderful, and ahead there is a gate. You get closer and closer to the gate. On the gate it says, "This way to all your possibilities. Move forward boldly and confidently into your future." Then you notice all around the gate are padlocks. They appear to be steel, blocking your way forward. Each individual lock represents one belief you hold that limits your ability to move forward, one pattern that you're now ready to get rid of, one energetic blockage, one idea that has kept you stuck and has prevented you from getting what it is that you truly want. Each lock is blocking your way. You look, and there are so many locks around this gate, so many barriers you have created. How will you get through? A breeze blows in, and the locks wave in the breeze. You notice that they're just paper, not steel at all, just paper. Pieces of paper that look like steel locks, but they're just paper. This thing that you've built up in your mind as a block is not impassable after all. One by one, take the paper locks and rip them up. As you rip up each lock, think of which outdated thought pattern it represents, which idea it's holding you back. Think of an objection you give yourself about why you can't get what you want. Rip these ideas up. Some of these ideas were given to you by other people. Rip those ideas up too. Rip them all up and let them float away in the breeze, disintegrating as they float away, out of your way. Some of these locks may have been there to try to protect you, but they went too far. They ended up freezing you, stagnating you. Rip them up. Forgive yourself, thank them for trying to protect you, and rip them up. It's time to get what you need, and it's time to balance your energy. It's time to move forward, knowing you deserve to be happy, secure, successful, prosperous, confident, at peace. Keep ripping and ripping up all of these paper locks, clearing the way forward. Rip up each and every one. I'll give you a moment. Finish up now. Pull down and rip up all the locks in one final swoop and look at the gate. It is free and clear. Your future is wide open. Open the gate and walk through, knowing you are embracing your wide open future and can think and believe your wishes into reality. You continue down the path and notice a building in the distance. You walk towards the building. Beautiful rainbow flowers line the pathway and guide your way forward. You walk easily through the front door and you see a staircase down. The stairs go down into a colorful hallway. You walk down the 5 steps, each step taking you deeper and bringing more awareness of the energy centers in your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're in a hallway filled with colorful doors. The first door on the right is a beautiful red door. You walk through the door into a bright red room. You notice that the red color is created by a vibrant red light shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable red chair. You sit down in the chair and you feel safe, secure, and grounded. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are taken care of, that you are able to take care of yourself. You have food, shelter, and enough money. You have a healthy relationship with money. You are physically safe. All your basic needs will be met moving forward. You feel safe moving forward. You have enough moving forward. As these thoughts fill you, the red light begins to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The red light gathers in your root chakra near the base of your spine, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and you see that the red light is glowing from your root, reminding you that you are safe and grounded. You walk out into the hallway and go to the next door, a vibrant orange door. You walk through the door into a vibrant orange room. You notice that the orange color is created by an orange light shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable orange chair. You sit down in this chair and you feel creativity and sexual confidence flow through you. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are one with the energy of creation, that you are able to take care of yourself, that your mind is easily able to think up creative solutions to any problem anytime you need it. You are comfortable with your sexual nature and sexuality. You have harmonious relationships with your romantic partners, and you are comfortable with change. As these thoughts fill you, the orange light begins to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The orange light gathers in your sacral chakra, right at your navel, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the orange light is glowing from your navel, reminding you that you are creative and desirable. Underneath the orange light, the red light is growing from your root chakra, both in complete balance with each other and supporting each other. You walk out into the hallway and go to the next door, a brilliant yellow door. You walk through the door into a brilliant yellow room. You notice that the yellow color is created by a light shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable yellow chair. You sit down in the chair and feel at one with your own power. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are capable of asserting yourself and handling all that life throws at you, that you are able to take care of yourself. You know what is right for you intuitively, and follow your own path throughout life, and follow your own truth. You are comfortable exerting your own power over your own life. You can adjust and adapt to the events in your life. You believe in yourself. You are worthy of a happy, fulfilled life. As these thoughts fill you, the yellow light begins to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The yellow light gathers in your solar plexus chakra, right under your ribs, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the yellow light is glowing from your solar plexus, reminding you that you are incredibly powerful and resilient. Underneath the yellow light, the orange light is glowing from your sacral chakra. Underneath the orange light, the red light is glowing from your root chakra, all in complete balance with each other. You walk out into the hallway and go to the next door, a dazzling green door. You walk through the door into a dazzling pink and green room. You notice that the pink and green color is created by pink and green lights shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable pink and green chair. You sit down in the chair, and unconditional love flows through you. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are loving and lovable. You are able to give love and receive love freely and openly. You are capable of protecting yourself from others who are not good for you. You drop your unnecessary defenses. You make everyone's life better for knowing you. You love yourself and others, and happily receive all love that enhances your existence. As these thoughts fill you, the pink and green lights begin to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The pink and green light gathers in your heart chakra, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the pink and green light is glowing from your heart, reminding you that you are pure love in a physical form. Underneath the green and pink light, the yellow light is glowing from your solar plexus. Underneath the yellow light, the orange light is glowing from your sacral chakra. Underneath the orange light, the red light is glowing from your root chakra, all in complete balance with each other. You walk out into the hallway and you go to the next door, a magnificent blue door. You walk through the door into a magnificent blue room. You notice that the blue color is created by a blue light shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable blue chair. You sit down in the chair and you feel your ability to speak your truth magnify. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are truly able to articulate your truth in a calm, clear, direct manner. You are able to listen and truly hear what is being said. You are able to speak up for yourself without fear. You communicate truth in a harmonious manner. You are a great speaker, and you are a fantastic listener. As these thoughts fill you, the blue light begins to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies and any outdated thought patterns. The blue light gathers in your throat chakra, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the blue light is glowing from your throat, reminding you that you are able to speak and listen without judgment. Underneath the blue light, the green and pink light is glowing from your heart. Underneath the green and pink light, the yellow light is glowing from your solar plexus. Underneath the yellow light, the orange light is glowing from your sacral chakra. Underneath the orange light, the red light is glowing from your root chakra, all in complete balance with each other. You walk out into the hallway and go to the next door, a deep indigo door. You walk through the door into a deep indigo room. You notice that the indigo color is created by swirling indigo and clear lights shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable indigo chair. You sit down in the chair and feel your intuition growing stronger. Sitting in this chair, you know that you are able to easily distinguish between fact and fiction. The truth is easy for you to see. Your eyes are strong and healthy. Your inner sight is strong and healthy too. Your imagination is vivid, and you can easily imagine desired things into reality. As these thoughts fill you, the indigo and clear lights begin to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The indigo and clear light gathers in your third eye chakra, right between your eyes, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the indigo and clear light is glowing, reminding you that you can see clearly and your intuition is valid. Underneath the indigo and clear light, the blue light is glowing from your throat. Underneath the blue light, the green and pink light is glowing from your heart. Underneath the green and pink light, the yellow light is glowing from your solar plexus. Underneath the yellow light, the orange light is glowing from your sacral chakra. Underneath the orange light, the red light is glowing from your root chakra, all in complete balance with each other. You walk out into the hallway and go to the next door, a bright purple door. You walk through the door into a bright purple room. You notice that the purple color is created by a purple light shining throughout the room. In the center is a comfortable purple chair. You sit down in the chair, and your connection to the universe grows. Sitting in this chair, you know that you can easily connect with others. You are one with the universe and all universal knowledge. It is yours to access whenever needed. You feel a strong sense of connection to other people and to animals. Your connections are seamless and amicable. As these thoughts fill you, the purple light begins to fill you, swirling down through your body, clearing any stuck energies, any outdated thought patterns. The purple light gathers in your crown chakra, right at the top of your head, shining bright and clear. You move to a mirror on the wall, and the purple light is glowing from your head, reminding you that you are connected to everything and everyone around you. Underneath the purple light, the indigo and clear light is glowing from your third eye. Under the indigo and clear light, the blue light is glowing from your throat. Underneath the blue light, the green and pink light is glowing from your heart. Underneath the green and pink light, the yellow light is glowing from your solar plexus. Underneath the yellow light, the orange light is glowing from your sacral chakra. Underneath the orange light, the red light is glowing from your root chakra, all in complete balance with each other. Take a moment to appreciate this balance. You walk out and into the colorful hallway. You walk up the stairs to the room bathed in white sunlight on the second floor. The light shines through your body, illuminating all the lights within you and magnifying all the energy inside you. Sunlight and all the light in your life will continue to balance your energy and bring positive results. You walk through this room feeling protected and renewed. There is a door at the far end, and you walk out into a garden. There are patches of flowers for every color in the rainbow. If you need an extra feeling of security, pick a red flower. If you need to tap into your creativity a little bit more, pick an orange flower. If you need a boost of personal power, pick a yellow flower. If you need extra loving energy, pick a pink flower. If you need a reminder to speak your own truth confidently, pick a blue flower. If you need to see the truth a little bit clearer, pick a white flower. If you need to feel a stronger connection to the people and world around you, pick a purple flower. You walk along feeling all these energies absorbing into the fabric of your existence. To the right, there is a staircase formed out of an old tree trunk. We are going to climb those stairs and come back into the present moment. 1, feeling free of all of the blockages that you released today. 2, 3, knowing that your energy is completely balanced. 4, 5, feeling lighter and fantastic. 6, knowing that your chakras are clear and shining like you saw in the mirror. 7, so happy to have released unneeded barriers. 8, starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. 9, opening your eyes. 10, wide awake, alert, clear, and ready to conquer the world. Oh, good. Thank you.
Ross and I second that, and Jen too. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I feel taller.
Do you? Perfect. That's an extra benefit.
I feel it all throughout. And I feel this urge to have a multicolored bouquet somewhere in my office to remind me, with all of those flowers, to remind me and give me that kind of anchor and
Yeah.
link to that.
Yes.
Beautiful imagery, Astrid.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, thank you.
So as we are coming back to full wide awake awareness, I just want you to realize that I put Astrid's contact information in the chat room so that you can look at where she has events and that kind of thing. That's on her website under events, and there's an email address there for her, and even a phone number as well.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about the process or about the chakras in general?
Do you mind if I give you a reaction? My name's Chris Astrid. That was a beautiful, beautiful session.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know, I'm very much a student of chakras and metaphysics, and I've known for a long time from my own explorations that have stuck energy in my sacral chakra. And when you got to that, I started crying. I was really releasing, and I love the way you did the consecutive colors and you built on them and you kept repeating them. That was really powerful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you had such a good reaction.
It was wonderful. Thanks.
Awesome.
Jen?
I just wanted to ask, going back to when you're doing a session and you're clearing things for people, what you just did with us, was that a general guided? And then if you're working on specific issues with people, do you stop at that and then explore a little bit there or something like that?
Yeah, so I just want to correct one thing, and it's that I'm not really clearing the people. I'm guiding them to clear themselves. So it's not like I'll stop them and then do some kind of like clearing on my own. But if I know that they're having specific issues, and I do try to customize to everybody who comes in. So this is like a general overview of what I would do. But if there are specific things that I know are blocking them or they've told me about situations, I will absolutely put that language in and make that section a little bit longer.
Or like the broken heart example.
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
used.
So then I would probably spend a little bit extra time talking about, the resiliency of our heart and how they've gotten through broken hearts before, and add in language like that.
But I think to Michael's point earlier about being client directed,
Yeah.
client-centered, client-directed, that it's really you're hands off, you're the guide. And
Absolutely.
it's the client who's making, and as Karen said, client is making the magic, making things work.
Yeah.
Chris, we are a good testament to this, you and I, because you knew a lot about chakras going in here. And when she got to one that was of importance to you, Chris, it really had impact for you and it really drove things home. I don't know much about chakras. I don't know what all these colors mean. I don't know what any of these various levels mean or any of that. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I was applying my own meaning to all of this as we got there. And that, I think, is what the client-centered directedness is.
Yeah. Karen, what colored flowers did you pick?
Oh, Chris, come on. I wanted one of every one.
Me too. I picked every single one.
Yes, I needed a little extra of this and a little extra of that. And of course, I want some of this and some of this. That's why I said I now want to go. I want a multicolored. I want a bouquet of flowers with all of the colors. And so, Astrid, that had another benefit for me, and maybe for everybody. I don't know that I'm special. I'm just saying that I'm passing this on to you, that there was some anchoring going on there too, with different colors and different thoughts and different things I could pick. When I had that gut reaction, I might tap into that and say, oh, let me pay some attention to that. I need a little extra of this. If I feel a little extra security, I might want to, I'm imagining now, I'm positively hallucinating now that colorful bouquet that I put on my desk over here. I might pick that red flower and say, okay, let me breathe some of that in. Let me take that in. That is just mental anchoring. I'm making all this shit up as I go along, and that's what it's all about, right? And making the connections in my brain that are valuable and important to me. Astrid didn't shove any of that down my throat or through my throat chakra. All of that went through, and my mind did all of the work as we went along. That's the beauty of all of that. You didn't implant or install suggestions. You allowed me to do the clearing, just like you said.
Although I might steal what you just said and say, I will not shove anything down your throat chakra in my sessions. It's fantastic.
Yes. Does anybody else have a comment or something you'd like to share or a question? We have about 5 minutes left. Yes, Russell.
So Astrid, tell us a little bit, if you would, about just a client experience. Is this a one and done, or is this something where, how is it defined when the work is done?
So, life happens, and I feel like it's never actually done. Like, things happen to us every day, so this is a constantly changing experience, because what somebody is going through when they come in for one session could be completely different than what they're coming in for on the next one. So it is just being pretty flexible and fluid with your client. Like I said, sometimes they will come in just for like a tune-up and to have the chakra clearing experience. And again, that I don't think it ever really ends. There are some people who might like it once and then feel like they're good, and then that's their experience. But there are definitely people who like to come back and have it several times, because things happen to us every day, and we have different reactions, and different stuck energy can happen anywhere in our body based on how we cope with things.
How do you market this, Astrid? How do people find you, and what makes them come to you for your services?
So I have a lot of word of mouth. I always have. And I do events. At the beginning of the year, I always do a clearing your chakras after the holidays, because a lot of people need it after going home for the holidays or having all of the hectic, I need to buy everything to show my love for people, holidays, or things like that. So I always do in January clearing your chakras after the holidays, and then that does also spread word of mouth, and people the next year will always bring people with them because they had a good experience. So it's kind of grown like that too.
Do you work through a center, through other people, or do you put this out on social media? How do people find out about your clearing?
I put it out on social media. On my website, I have an email list that I will email out events that I'm doing.
Always in person or online?
I sometimes do online. Definitely during COVID and stuff like that, I did more stuff online. There is something that I love about being in person, but I do also like being online. But there is just something about having a room full of people and actually having that back and forth with them and seeing the changes as they go through the 7 chakras is pretty cool.
What piques their interest, the chakra or the hypnosis? Or do you think they're equal?
I think it's both. And I think it's the fact that they're together, because then people get to try 2 things that they've always kind of wondered about and do it together.
What this reminds me of, Astrid, it's so beautiful, is that there are a lot of ways that we said right at the beginning, a lot of ways to do hypnosis, a lot of ways to affect a trance or create a trance. What I always tell students and everybody who will listen is put yourself out there, and the people who are supposed to be with you will find you. Don't be afraid to put out whatever it is you do, announce that, and let those who are supposed to be with you find you.
That's really true.
Beautiful job. Michael, do you have some final words?
Gosh, I enjoyed the experience a great deal. I thought it was a wonderful idea. I want to double up on something that Astrid said, and that is that this is the kind of thing certainly that lends itself to occasional reiteration tune-ups. Like you said, like I take my car in every so often. If you've got a piano, you don't tune it once and think that it's going to be good forever. We go out into the world, we get buffeted around, and and you need to stop and take the time to pull it back together. So it's a beautiful process and something you can do again.
Loved it. It works in a group and it works individually. Upwardspiralhypnosis.com is Astrid's website. Upwardspiralhypnosis.com if you want more info or want to get in touch with her. I really think it was a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for sharing with us and for bringing this other element that we can all use for hypnosis. Bring the stuff that you love, meld it together, and create. Go to that yellow chakra. Which one is the creative chakra? Hold on.
Orange sacral.
Orange. Okay. I'm going to take a sniff of my orange flower, get creative, and finish my damn book. Thank you, Astrid. We cleared some stuff there, and I will move ahead.
Okay, good.
So before you leave, if there are no other questions, what we would love to do is have everybody open your mics now and give Astrid the send-off that she deserves. We appreciate you all. We'll be back here next week. Always, thank you, Astrid.
Thank you so much, Astrid.
Thank you, Astrid.
There you go.
Russell.
Thank you, Karen.
Welcome, Jacob and Russell. Glad to
Yes.
have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
See y'all
Thanks
next
for
month.
having me.
Till next month.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
See you at the conference.
Yes.
Bye bye.